Okay, domestic girlfriend. Quite a few people have been wanting me to talk about this show. Just take a peek at it. I don't know if I'm going to review it, each individual episode or not, or I'll just go as far as the first impressions, or what I'll do. But hopping into this show, I do got to say this to all of you. It really reminds me of Scum's Wish in a way, and I'm going to hop into that in a second, but for anyone who doesn't know, this show is basically about a main male character who is in love with his teacher, his senpai per se, but from from what he knows, it's unrequited, right? It's not, there's no love back. It's a one-way kind of romance. And then we find out that he actually ends up sleeping with her little sister unknowingly. So yeah, but it actually gets a little bit crazier than that, because the show goes on to actually have our main male character's dad marry their mom. So he slept with one and he's in love with the other one. And all this kind of stuff got thrown in his face unknowingly. You guys have to watch the first episode to kind of understand what's going on there. So it sounds a little bit sillier than what it is, but it makes a little bit more sense once you watch the show. But, I gotta say, from a character standpoint, we have Rui, who is really easy to understand, and the reason why she probably is connected to our main male character in this show is because he just went out of his way to communicate with her, socialize with her, because she's someone who's not socially capable. She just doesn't know how to talk to people, and she comes off as very rude and, well, mean. But that's not what that's just how she talks. She just doesn't know how to talk back, and she only knows how to knows how to run away from a situation or a conversation, I should say. And then we have Hina, who's down to earth and really nice, and actually is one that really follows the path of justice per se. That's how Rui describes her. And I kind of described Hina a little bit different, because I know a lot of people, I was talking to people on my Discord even, they're really hating on Hina. And I think you just listen, hear me out. Hina's a character, she's the best written character in the series. I'll tell you that for anyone who hasn't even seen the show yet. By far the best written character of this series. And that's because her sister, whenever she goes out of the way and states how she used to be, how she is very nice, but she was someone who actually was very, very, very attached to her morals. Like I said, she was maybe a social justice warrior. I don't even know what you want to call it. Actually, I would not call it that at all. But she's someone that just believed in right, fair, and equal, and don't do things that are wrong. She was very, very morally set. But she ends up having an affair, or she's in an affair with a man that's married. She's not married, but she's in an affair with a man that is married. And that's where things go to hell in a handbasket. So when referring to the show like Scum's Wish, I really sense that's like Scum's Wish, because Hina's Akane in a way, except she's like a fraction as bad as Akane. Akane intentionally would sleep with people that were with other people. She would literally do that because it was a kink of hers. It was a turn on for her. Hina, I don't know if that's the case, but has not been showcased that to be the case at all. It's just she's in a situation. She's struggling in a situation. The show clearly shows that. It puts the emphasis that there's more to Hina than meets the eye. That's why they brought up her, Rui, her little sister, talking about how she was someone that was really, really about the path of justice. And that's why she doesn't understand this whole affair thing. And we get to see her really struggle too, because she also kisses our main character, or I should say our main character kisses her, and the next thing you know, our main character isn't getting pushed away. She kind of closes her eyes and goes with it for about 5 seconds, even though at first you can clearly tell by her facial expression she's caught off guard, but then she pushes him away, slaps him. But then she grabs him again and kisses him. And as he leaves the room, you get to see that she says, what am I doing? What's wrong with me? Hina questions herself. And I like that because it makes her mysterious. So basically what it's saying is something happened to make her kind of just go on a different path. Something happened to where she is walking down the road and all of a sudden there's a fork in the road. Something made her go down, steered her down a different road. And I'm not sure what that is. So before we judge, I really want us to evaluate that. And at the same time, though, guys, this is something that's really important. So whenever we look at Hina, and how I just said that there could have been something that happened to make her go down this path. As far as I'm concerned, there has to be. It's written up. It's set up to where something happened. Maybe she was cheated on, you know? Maybe the dark side of romance, like you see in Scum's Wish, if you guys are familiar with it. Maybe some stuff like that happened to her, and she got the shit into the stick. And there's two things you can do. You can mess up, and we can understand your thought process as to why, and we could forgive you instantly because it's so understandable, it's so effed up, and from a mental standpoint, most people would be driven to do what you're doing. Or we could go to the thought process that is, okay, we get why you're doing what you're doing, we get what you went through, but that's still effed up, but we'll forgive you later on. Right now, we're still pretty pissed, but later on, we'll forgive you. Or maybe she could be kind of like Akane and just be a POS. There's three choices. I may have said two before, but there's three. So the big thing that's going to make or break the show, and if you didn't make it this far into the video, then it's kind of all for nothing. But the thing that's really going to make or break this show is what's the theme? What is this about? Scum's Wish had a lot of, you know, sexual intercourse and so on and so forth going on because it's trying to pass along the narrative of, hey, romance isn't all sunshine and rainbows. We know we like to do that in fiction, but in this story, no. We're gonna be as realistic as possible. We're gonna show things that happen a lot every day, and people just are blinded by it at times. We're gonna show you that people cheat casually. We're gonna show you that people will casually date you while being friends with benefits of someone else. We're gonna show you that. So. When I look at this show, what is your message? What's your overarching message, Domestic Girlfriend? What are you trying to prove to your audience? And whenever I look at that, I say, and I think maybe it's trying to show us how bad things can happen, but you shouldn't steer down that path in terms of Rui's older sister. I mean, but at the same time, I don't know where the whole let's have their parents end up marrying each other comes from. I don't know where the whole let's have him sleep with this girl, then next thing you know their parents get married and they're both unaware that their parents are even dating, because that's what happens. They don't even know they're dating. It's like really secret. So I don't know where that stuff comes in, but whenever I think of Hina, I see something similar to Akane, like something bad happened, and now you have gone down the wrong path. I don't know. I don't know. It's just, I don't know what the message is here. I don't know what the narrative is trying to tell me. I simply don't know the theme. So if I were to even try or attempt to give this show a letter grade, I would actually say to myself, I don't know. I would say, what do I rank you? Because without me even, like, is it fun to watch? Yes. Is it entertaining? Sure. I enjoy it because I want to know what's going on. I want to know how the romance is going to end. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you have one girl that he loves, but she's gone off the path of having an affair and stuff, so where's that going to take you? You have the girl that you probably are most best suited for as of at least right now, which could easily change because Hina has the personality that you could totally be with, you're totally compatible with. I could see that, and the fact that you love her. But Rui's the girl that, like, we see a relationship building or a bond building, but at the same time, I don't know what the overarching message is, guys, and I can't grade this show because I don't know where it's going. Am I entertained? Am I having fun through the first 3 episodes I watched? Yes, but I don't know where it's going. How can I grade something that doesn't have a clear message? And that's my biggest issue with the show. And I think in the next 3 episodes, next 2 weeks, most likely, you'll get a clue where the show is going. If it can't even at least somewhat tell you where the show is going in the 5 episodes, then I don't know, because this show has, the manga or whatever it is isn't extremely far ahead either, so it has to be going somewhere, because I'm pretty sure the manga is on like chapters 60, 70, something like that, so it's not going to be too tremendously far ahead. So that's my first impression of the show. I just think about the whole Hina thing before you guys totally counter out, because there's something going on there. She's clearly written to be the controversial character. She's clearly written to be a character that is going to be going through a lot of issues. So or has gone through a lot of issues. That's how she's written up. So, other than that, though, guys, be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, follow on Twitter X25. You get some next. See you guys next time. Peace. Thanks for watching, guys.